All right, welcome world to another episode of Yatta Debates, and this is our first Zoom call session. And for this one, I decided to contact Crystal. Stop me if I'm saying it wrong. Feliciano.
That's right, Feliciano. Thank you.
All right, Feliciano. And the reason I wanted to get you on here is because like I've always like ran into you or like seen you at places. Like initially with Trenton Fashion Week. And I like from there I started following you, and I was just like, I see like how much that you do within the community that I definitely wanted to get you on here. Like as far as like again with Trenton Fashion Week and what you do at Trenton Central High School, you know, it's pushing the financial education and being involved so heavily with like the local politics. And now that I see you're running for county committee.
It's the North Ward District 5 committee woman. I'm already in the position right now. It's just we're up to renew it. It's a 2-year position, so we have to redo it again. So yeah.
Hey, so when you watch this, and because we will have this up, vote Crystal.
Yes.
Vote Crystal. And then another thing that I was watching you like doing the Thursday meetups over at Dubai, and like when I see that, it's just like I see like you're so heavily involved in this community, and it's just something that like. I don't know. I admire. I think it's very admirable.
Thank you.
Like, the thing that you do.
Thank you.
So you are a Trenton native, born and raised.
I am. Yep, born and raised West Side. Yes. so I have actually lived on. Let me think. So I was born at St. Francis Hospital, right? But we lived on Spring Street at a time. I lived at 455 West A Street. Those are the really cool, the Concord apartments that have a fence around it. You know what I'm talking about? At the tip of Prospect Street, like right there, and then West State. We moved in. I lived there when they were like brand new, when it was something. Now I don't know what's going on, but it was beautiful up in there. So my mom and I, we had lived there when they first opened up. Then we moved to 25 North Dean Avenue, and so that's where I was. From the time I was 13 until I had graduated from high school. So yeah, out West Trenton, but that's just it. Just Trenton, born and raised, love my city. I left for a little bit, came back, now I'm in the building just trying to do what I do. I've been giving back and still, a part of what's going on in Trenton, no matter where I was. Always believe in giving back to the city and the people.
Yeah, and you do it in like such an amazing way, and like just to kick it off from what I remember you from, it's just having that Trenton Fashion Week. Like personally, I didn't know the fashion community was like that heavy in Trenton until I went there, and it was just like they was like, yo, the show is sold out, And me, by all means, I'm not like a model. I'm good friends with Raymond Brown, and like so whenever he needs somebody like to style any of his fits, like
I love Ray. Vincente, Ray Vincente apparel,
Yeah, so and that's how I initially met you, and again, we didn't really have like a formal meeting, like you were like busy running the what you call it and everything.
Running around.
So, but what made you want to organize like that the Trenton Fashion Week, like?
So what happened is, my daughter and I actually have a foundation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. It's the M.O.V.E. Genesis Foundation, and we started that to help children ages 3 to 17 that experience partial or total hair loss due to alopecia, which my daughter has, or other extenuating circumstances. So at that time, when we first, but right before we got started, there was a company in Philly that was doing like a modeling program, right? And by no means, I'm not a model. I just like to have fun, right? So I had went over there to this little modeling school. I was like, oh, let me see what's going on. It was $200, but we had like 8 weeks of classes. The teachers were phenomenal though. Arthur and Dana Burgess, they were very, very good. And so I met a bunch of wonderful women that were over there at the school as well. It ended up that when the program was over, they actually asked me to stay on as their program coordinator. Started getting more and more into fashion and seeing what was going on, and I'm like, ooh. So it ended up some things happened. How can I say it and be nice about it? Things took a turn with the people that owned it, right? And so things were no longer above board. And I'm the type of person that I gotta go. Right? If it's not right, I'm out. And so I went on, and then I went to a different modeling company in Philly. So I was like, well, let me see what they got going on. Okay. So they looked me over there and was like, we want you to be our program coordinator. So I was like, okay. So I take the girls, and they all came over there with me, right? So we over here, they doing the program. Those girls were looking for, they wanted to be like models. They wanted to be seen and all that other kind of good stuff. This next company just basically was trying to make it like a social club. Ain't nobody got no time. We can be social at home, right? They put some heels on, and y'all talking about meet me at the bowling alley with some heels and a little shirt on, and
yeah, seriously,
who the hell's doing that? You got to wear bowling shoes. So, so they were like, nah. I ended up leaving there. So the girl's like, what are we gonna do? Like, you got to figure it out. I'm like, what do you mean I got to figure it out? So I started the Gianna Monet Genesis Foundation. And so I said to them, I can't make you a model, but I could get you seen. That I can do. I can promise you that. I can get you seen. Whatever comes of it, it'll be gravy for you if it works out. And so we started honoring the children with alopecia through the fashion shows. And so that's how it started, like, building. And so we were known, we're known as the Gem Dynasty, but we actually were really known in Philly for doing the in-store fashion shows and stuff. Like, we were at Ashley Stewart's, we were at Torrid, we were at Lane Bryant, we were all over the place. Like, we had DJs with us, DJ Say What, Steve Cook, he's been with me from the very beginning of everything. Yeah. Excellent brother. We had photographers with us, and we just kept the movement going, getting people into this whole alopecia movement. And so people are like, wow, they're actually talking about this, because you don't really talk about it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? You see the patches of hair, they're like, oh, they got cancer. No!
Yeah.
Alopecia. Or your hair is, you know what I mean? There's other reasons why these things are happening. And so we brought it to the forefront. And then we'll do an annual show every year to honor a child or children. And we present them with money and gifts and all that kind of stuff like that. So it started to build, and it went from just an annual show to an actual weekend. We had the Gem Dynasty Fashion Weekend. And so it was decreed by former Mayor Eric Jackson of Trenton. We had the resolution by council. We had the proclamation by the mayor declaring it. And as we move forward, we were like, yo, we've been doing this, for a minute. Let's just rock the week. Let's just rock the week. And so we was like, we could do it, and so we were like, yeah, Trenton Fashion Week, right? And so myself and myself and 3 other people, we all got together. We trademarked it. We talked to Mayor Eric Jackson. He again gave us the proclamation for the 3rd week of September and was like, yo, that's your week. It's Trenton Fashion Week in the city. And so we rocked out, and we did it. And so, we had to come big, right? Everybody else do a fashion week. They do 4 days. We came out the gate doing 7. You want to talk about tired?
I can imagine.
Holding on 7 days, but we rocked it. We did it. We from start to finish. It was a tremendous learning experience. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, this year, with everything that's happening with COVID-19, we're not even trying to venture into that, just for safety, social distancing, and the fact that we're talking about a second wave is going to come. So now I'm just thinking of another creative way to still honor a child. And we may do something virtually just to see. But that's how that happened. So it started off as a day, it went to the weekend, and then it went to the week.
Hey, and it's so, like, I don't know, it's inspiring hearing things like that. Like, when you set something up, like, that's very ambitious, like, to go for the whole week. And that's like, to hear like a success story like that, it's very important, especially for people like in this community, because we're plagued with like a lot of things, and seeing that like you give back so much to the community, it's real uplifting to hear those kind of things.
Thank you. No, I love the kids. I love the children. I teach at Trenton High. I love my students. I'm constantly on them, like, and I laugh because some of them, I give them that straight raw love with it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell you what it is, because I've been there. I've been an audit supervisor. I've been in the world of auditing 28 years of my life. I've
Mm-hmm.
had some wonderful work experiences. God has blessed me with great opportunities that, you know, I have directed some phenomenal teams and have done some great works that I could impart that to the children to tell them, this is how you have to do this. Like, this is what is going to happen when you step out into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to know how to navigate to make it and do something with yourself. And so even the ones who, they're like, she tough, you know, because they come in with all of that, I'm late and you ain't going to do nothing. And I'm like, oh, you late, get out. They're like, what? Yeah, bye. I ain't got to take that. You got to start with somebody else.
Yeah,
now,
you're right.
Curious about getting it, then you come on back and we can talk about it. They love that though, and I've gotten so many text messages, even now from the students, just shouting me out and saying, you know what, I love you, thank you for that, because guess what, I ride hard with them kids. They know that whenever they needed to come and talk to me, my room is open. We could sit, we could chop it up together, and they know I'm gonna just give it to them in love, but I'm gonna give it to them real, and that's what's important. Authenticity, especially when you're dealing with kids, you got to be authentic with them, or else you're gonna lose them.
Especially with high schoolers, because you know, like at that, I know at that age and going to Trenton High, like we was rambunctious, but like it's good to have like that space where, you know, you legitimately have educators that like care about you and, you know, really care about your future, especially at that time when you, like you say, from there you're going on into the world. And it seems like, you know, whatever kind of attitude and mindset that you left at that age, it's like you kind of carry that with you for like the next couple of years. You know, it kind of like dictates like some of your work ethic, like, you know what I mean, and really having people on your back sometimes is just like it's important. You know what I mean? Like it's tough love, but it stems from a good place. Now, at Trenton High, what subject do you teach? Because I know I saw you post up pictures like, and you was like talking about like financial literacy for your students.
So I do finance. I do finance 1, 2, and 3. I do financial literacy, and encompassed in that, I also do business 101. I'm do a little bit of entrepreneurship. I step on everything. I use my classes to step on everything that I know that they need to be equipped with. Like, we write resumes, we do cover letters. You know what I mean? We setting budgets. We're figuring out needs and wants. Look, I even teach them. We got a whole segment, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because I was like, yo, y'all ever hear that saying? Let me show you what happens when you rob Peter to pay Paul. And then, you know, Peter come around and you got to pay double and this and that. Like, I had some kids actually texting their parents during class. The one girl was like, I just got to text my mom. And I was like, what is this about? And she was like, I just want to tell her thank you, because I didn't realize the sacrifices or what could be going on. You know what I mean? So it's deep.
And you know, one of the things that
up into one.
And you know, one of the things that we stress, especially on this channel, is like financial literacy. Because I feel like, you know, when I was going there, like it wasn't really pushed. Sorry, I live like right by the train tracks.
Right. No, that's okay.
Yeah, it's just like financial literacy wasn't pushed like as much as I see now. And it was one of those things that like is really important, because like when it came now to like filing like my first tax report or even setting the budget, like I had no idea what I was doing. Like nobody told me like anything about like a budget. And these are things like I really just had to like learn on my own. Like luckily, like my mom, she works for taxation, and she works for unclaimed property. So she kind of put me on to like, you know, understanding like stocks and like the importance of investing. But I got like a small piece of it. I still wasn't like, I didn't have like a step-by-step lesson before. So
yeah, we cover that. We cover investing and stuff too. And so for the things that I'm not strong in, that's the beauty of knowing people in the community and in the workforce that are strong. So I bring those people in to have a conversation with the kids about stuff, you know, from insurance, from stocks and investing and stuff like that. We even have Kyle Ledford come. He owns Ledford Funeral Home in South Trenton, right? He dropped so much knowledge on all of us, one from the side of dealing like with, you know, the morgue and all that. We was like, ooh. But he also dropped a lot on us about the importance of insurance and what you can actually do with a life insurance payments, even for, you know, your kids, right? So he's like, you want to think about it, but you know, you get a life insurance policy on your kid when they're an infant. Depending on how you go with it, the kid will be able to cash that out at some point and make use of the money, right? And then, you know, so there's different things that the different people that come in to talk to the kids about. Rob was excellent. He comes in, he works at Merrill Lynch brokerage, and he comes in and talks about stocks. They love him. He comes in, he plays like his whole stock game and everything. It's really cool. It gets everybody thinking about the next level. And that's that. It's important for all of us to think about the next level.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we say, you know, when we enter like to certain other communities, like that kind of knowledge and base of like conversation is just common to them. But it's just like it's something that's just now reaching us, but it's something that, like, you know, everybody needs to understand. And we say this all the time, like, we don't care like what field that you go into, like everybody needs to at least understand personal finance. Because everybody, everybody deals with money on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, engineer, scientist, healthcare professional, like you need to understand your money. So so that's really important.
Yeah, or you won't have none.
Trust me, I live 27 of my years living like that. So.
But it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson. We talk about financial responsibility, being able to budget, spend, and save money wisely. And that's the core of the class, right? And we always take it back to that. And so as I expound on it and we start going in different directions about our money, calculating overtime, know how to count your money or calculate what people should be paying you. The kids was like, well, wait a minute. I worked more than, you know, it was like eye openers on so many levels for them about paying yourself and putting money away. Like, you know what I mean? Talk that real talk about, you know, again, setting that budget to figure out you want to end up paying yourself first at the end of the day and having money, right? Taking care of the things that you need to take care of so you can have a little bit on the side to get those things that you want and prioritizing. That's important too.
Just in case something like this happens again, you know, where there's a whole pandemic and it's just like, well, you know, I'm out of a job and, you know, they taking forever with government assistance and, you know, everything's going on. So one thing I did want to touch bases on, because like I wasn't able to attend any at the time, like the Thursday meetups that you were doing at Dubai. Can you touch bases on those for like a little bit? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. So once a month on a Thursday, DJ Nassib and we get together, and he is actually a firefighter in the city of Trenton, Nassib, Washington. He and I partnered up to do the Thursday meetups. And what happens is we get together on a Thursday. I'm a house head to the heart. Some house music. He is originally from Brick City, Newark. So, you know, they know how to club it up there. And so we get together, we get the back of Dubai, we open it up to entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And so people could come and vend if they want to vend. And then we dance and eat, and then people like mix and mingle. So it's us meeting up on the business tip, on the personal tip. We showcase the different entrepreneurs and the stuff that they have to help, right, get them some sales or get them attention and recognition that they wouldn't normally get. And then we just have a good time in the process.
And I'm seeing like a common thing here, like everything that you do is just like, I see like, you know, you always going into this with like a partnership, and like it's important, like, you know, you have like that sense of community, and like it seems like in everything that you do, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that we got to get back to, you know. Shelly and I, like, you know, we've been doing this for like a year now, and like, you know, this show wouldn't, like, you know, be what it is without each other. So, you know, we really, and we have like our community of friends that, you know, we do things with. And but like really hearing you is like making me want to like expand out and like, you know, also touch bases with other people. And, you know, we've been doing that, like, you know, having meetings with like, you know, other people. I don't know if you know Sean Donovan. Like he was like one of the models that was working with Ray.
I would have to see his face.
Got you. But, you know,
I mean, I'm sure if I see, I mean, he might have modeled in my shop. I'm like,
yeah. Like it's hard to keep track of all these people.
There's a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong. So here's the advice for you on that. It's never anything wrong to expand your horizons and what you're doing, right? You and Shelly, stay true to you and Shelly. And so as long as you have your understanding of what it is you want to accomplish, and how far you want to go with it, you make sure that you two are solid. Because here's the thing, when you bring other people in, right? You have to vet them. And so that means you have to ask questions, you have to study them and look at them, right? Just like you looked at me, you never know who's watching you, right? I don't know. I have different people that hit me up for different reasons. Hey, I saw you here. I'm like, yeah. But, you know, you have different people watching you for different reasons. And people will want to come close to you, not to help you, but to hinder you or to take what you have and move their agenda forward, right? And so I am open to talking to other people, but my inner circle, that never moves. My inner circle, it never changes. So you might come in, but you're not in. You understand me?
Yeah.
So, because I always say to people, everyone who is among you is not necessarily with you. So you'll have people around you just to be around, taking notes, want to see, want to do, right? But they're not really with you. They're not. And I learned that the hard way, trusting, being open. Oh yeah, I'm a dude. Now, you know what? I got my inner group. We ride or die together. They've shown that. We've shown each other that. I know that I could trust them. If I walk away and go to the left, I know they got me to the right, and they know that about me, right? Vice versa with them. So whatever you two do with your initiative or whatever you're trying to do, you make sure that you two stay locked tight. And you bring to you people that are going to help expand or benefit what you're looking to accomplish, right? But then also be sure to bless other people as you're moving up along the way. And that's the thing that some people lose track of, right? I believe in blessing people. I do it all the time. It's just, I'm a servant leader. That's just the kind of person I am. I see a need. I lead to help fix and to help uplift. And God's been good to me with that. So the different things that I've laid my hands on, he has blessed me.
Yeah, tenfold on.
If they work out, yeah. So you can bring people to you. Just make sure that they coming into you with the right intentions, and you let them in like this much. You don't let them in like this, because what y'all got is what y'all got. You want to keep it, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's a solid piece of advice. Now, okay. Let me ask you this too, because like, and, you know, branching off into that, like, you know, I see, you know, you're involved with like the local politics, and
yeah, I was just about to ask about the whole journalism. How did you get into that?
Girl, listen, I don't even know. Look, I touch a lot of things, right? So here's how, I guess, I used to write poetry all the time when I was in high school. Every situation, I got a book, yo, of poems, and they just real, like it was about the situation, like they was to the heart, like you'd be like, wow, she really did that. But I have a book. So I've always liked to write. And through my experience as an auditor, we always had to write reports. So I've always had to be very well spoken when I talk, when I write, and all that kind of good stuff, right? I went to a boot camp. It was a journalism boot camp years ago. Peterson was he 15? Thomas Peterson of Peterson's Breaking News. I want to say he's like 25, 27 now, right? So we talking about 10 some years ago. I went to a journalism boot camp held by Citizens Campaign. They selected some of us. They sent us to Asbury Park for a workshop. So we're all sitting there and talking, and it was like all these media people, right? People that did videography, people that did writing and this and that. And so then in comes Thomas Peterson. And so we're looking at the table, you know, everybody's looking around, and this young kid comes in and he sits down and he's like, I'm Thomas Peterson, Peterson Breaking News. And we was looking like, what? You're a kid. Like, and he might have, and yeah, he was young. He was very young. So he started doing that when he was 15. So he might have been 18 at the time when we were there at the thing, right? And so he was telling us that he was at that time riding his bicycle to get all the news coverage. So everything was breaking news. He was getting up in the middle of the night, riding his bicycle all through Trenton. No lie, like we're like, yo, like you really bout it, right? Doing that. And so what happened was, they started telling us how to take it, to the next level. So I was like, bet. Back in the day, I had worked with a guy, James McLean. He actually filmed a couple of my fashion shows years ago. I would love to work with you on a talk show. Great. And so we put together Crystal's Place, the place where real people come to talk about real things. And so we had started filming and taping, and I had footage of all of that when we were doing that. Cool, right? Something happened. A relative of his got really sick, so he had to fall back. He couldn't do that. I ran into Tyrone Miller when Trentonian TV was going on. We went in, had a conversation. Next thing you know, I'm hosting on TrentonianTV.com. Okay, bet. So then I went to WIMG for an interview. Somebody interviewed me about something. I was like, this is dope. I got a radio voice. So then I host on WIMG 1300 AM Gospel Radio. Okay, bet. Years had gone by. I hadn't seen Thomas. I just, watch him on Facebook or whatever. We ended up coming full circle, and we just had a conversation. And now I'm one of his reporters with him on Peterson's Breaking News. So it's funny how things just come
all full circle, huh?
Yeah. And then between that, I was doing the Crystal Feliciano show. So I still have that. I interviewed Ben Bad. What? So I had got love me some Ben Bad. I ain't even gonna hold you. I taught Ben Bad's brother in class. How about that? But I had interviewed Ben Bad right after Ben Bad was like putting it all out there and everything.
Oh, when she dropped the list.
We actually did a show where we looked at Ben Bad from the other side. Yeah. I said, listen, I don't want you to expose nothing. I want you to tell us about you, because now we need to let people see who you are. When she talked, it opened up. It gave a lot of people a totally different perspective about why and who and what really was going on. And so we still tag each other up. Hey, what's good? Still got love for and everything like that. You just never know what people be going through or what makes people do what they do. Make you a bad person. It just means that sometimes you just need somebody to really care again and to listen and see. And so from there, now I'm here. I'm doing the Peterson's thing. I do the Crystal thing. I got the group on Facebook, Art Trenton, because I'm building that up to bring awareness to what's going on in the city and stuff like that. I do work with Mayor Gucciora's administration on things. I was very active on his campaign. Just try to do what's good for the city.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's why I wanted to ask you about, because it's just like seeing you so heavy involved in like the local politics. It's just like how important is it that we understand what's going on in the city? Because it's just like I'll tell you honestly, like I think people like in my age range and around in the city, that they're not too in tune with what's going on. You know what I mean? Like if I talk to them, I don't think it like really resonates. So like, what's the important that we actually like really pay attention what's going on politically and like who we're voting for when it comes to our local politics?
And that's an excellent question. It is very important. First of all, it's important that when you become of age to register to vote, you need to register to vote, right? So at the school, at the high, I also register my students to vote. That's it. We in finance.
Taking the full approach, huh?
You gotta vote, because guess what? Who you put in is going to affect what happens with your benefits, with your money. Like it all ties up together, and you want to have a say so in what's going on. So the first thing I say is when you're of age, you can be 17, you can register to vote, even though you can't vote until you're 18. So I'm knocking them up 17 and 18. If they're 17, they register to vote. If they're 18, I got them. Boom, let's get it done. You need to understand the dynamics of what goes into local government, right? So we have the mayor and his administration. We have city council, and they oversee what they oversee, right? So the mayor is responsible for the daily operations of what's going on, him and his administration, what's happening in the city, all the different departments that are taking place. We got our trash, we got our tax assessments and collections. We have the health department, recreation department, right? Public works, all that other kind of good stuff, right? There's a finance department in there. All of that is happening. Health and human services, economic development. So we have all of that going on. You have city council, who is the overseer. Well, I won't say overseer because of that whole connotation. They are the watchers of what's going on to just make sure that the different contracts or things that the mayor and his administration are looking to get into are supposed to be in the best interest of the city. And so that's why they have city council meetings. They make ordinances and resolutions. They pass things into law to say, yeah, you know, it's an ordinance. You gotta be quiet by 10 o'clock. Juveniles gotta be in the house by 10 o'clock. Things like that. You know what I mean? Trash, whatever they want to pass laws on, they pass the laws on. It's important for you because if you're taking a look at what's currently happening with our city council, the longest time, they've been fighting amongst themselves. No one wants to have anyone in leadership that cannot lead effectively. These people make the decision about what's going to happen as far as jobs coming into the city, contracts that are allowed into the city, potential opportunities for you up and coming young folk, right? They make those decisions. It is important that we have people who are capable, competent, and qualified, that they can have a conversation with each other, that they can have a conversation and work in the community. You should look around and see your council people moving amongst you for you because they get paid. So they get paid to do a job as well. So the mayor sits at City Hall. He's doing what he's doing over there with his administration, right? Council, they get paid by us too to move and take care of stuff. So if you have complaints about things that are going on, you have 4 ward council people. So you have a council person that is assigned to the North Ward, the South Ward, the East Ward, and the West. But then you also have 3 at-large council people. What that means is they cover the whole city, right? So if I live in the North Ward, which I do, if I have an issue in the North Ward, I would contact Councilwoman Marge Caldwell Wilson because she's my North Ward council person. If she don't move for me, I can then contact Councilman Jarrell Blakely, Councilman Santiago Rodriguez, or Councilwoman Kathy McBride, because they are the 3 at large. Somebody's got to help me. Somebody's supposed to help me. You all need to be involved in the process because you should honestly be to the point of saying enough is enough. We want jobs in the city. We want people to come in and buy and invest in our city so that we can have the nice boutiques and stuff downtown like other towns have, where we can have nice housing developments, where we can have things that our people can actually benefit from. And so by you being a part of the process, then you actually could line yourself up in position. Maybe one day you could be one of those council people to help bring good change to the city, right? I have Project M.O.V.E that we just launched. Project M.O.V.E is making our visions evident. And I partnered with the Trenton chapter of the NAACP to bring this forward. So what we're doing is we're helping to beautify and promote unity throughout the city, 1 ward at a time. I'm putting together a committee. We're asking for people to volunteer from each ward, right? I want 3 people from each ward. Be on the committee. We're going to talk about, okay, hey, 4 crosswalks in the city of Trenton, 1 in each ward. The people that represent the North, y'all going to go on the North. You're going to find a couple of crosswalks and say, okay, we think these 2 would be great places to have an artistic drawing in the crosswalk. Okay. Same people do it for the South, the East, and the West, right? So you go out, you find those places. We all come back together at the meeting. You present it. Bet. Now, what do you think we should have at those crosswalks? Come up with that. Okay. So now we flush it out to the community and we take a poll. Hey, y'all, Here's the 2 crosswalks in these wards. Here's the 2 artistic ideas that we have for each one that could be, now you vote on it. So now the community votes on it. Okay, great. Now we talk to the artist. Hey, we want this sketched out at this crosswalk, this, and this. What do we have to do to have you do it? They let us know. Then we schedule a day where we have the community participate and we all paint it in ourselves. So now at every single crosswalk in the city, the community has bought in to put this remembrance of we're one. We're one. And we want to be, excuse me, at peace, and we want to be unified because we are tired of the division that is happening. We're tired of the ward violence. We're tired of, oh, you from over here on this street, you can't come this way. Every place we walk, ride, or go, we want something to remind us that, you know what, we are Trenton, we are special. It's the capital city.
Seriously.
Get our shit together. It's time for us to operate in the fashion that we need to operate in. And that is what you should see. That is what you should see from those that are in position. And if you're not seeing it, it's important for you now to get on board and call it out. When you go to city council meetings, they have it now where you could call in and listen. You need to call in and start listening so you can understand what is going on. And if you have questions, then you can hit me up. We could talk about it. Ask the questions so that way you understand what's going on. Because you guys are the up and coming. You're the next set of leaders that should be moving up to take over all of this, right? And so that's why it's important, because you're next.
And I'm glad that you said that, because, you know, I know so many people like in this community that they want to see the community uplifted, but they just don't know how to go about it. And like you really detailing everything and like, you know, explaining why the politics of it is important, like who you're appointing in that office, who's like, you know, essentially making these decisions. That's what I'm glad that, you know, I got you up here on this platform today.
Thank you.
So, yeah, like I said, like especially like you said, you know, with my age group, you know, I'm coming up to my 30s next year, so
and that's all right. And guess what? There are positions. So there are positions on the Democratic committee that I'm in the seat for. There's different vacancies in the different districts within the wards that you can serve on the committee to really learn. Because now you're walking in a room with a whole lot of other people. I mean, we meet to talk about who we're going to put up for assembly person, for freeholder, for congressperson, like for president. That's how serious it is. And it's happening here right in the city of Trenton. And you can be a part of that. So yeah, you need to look and become a part of the process. Stop sitting back, right? And then just dealing with the results.
Yeah.
Part of affecting the change. And
so how can we go about volunteering or joining these
so
committees?
What'll happen is, right now we're facing a primary election, right? As you know, for president and all that kind of good stuff like that. Okay. What'll happen is vote by mail right now. So really can't do too much except for, excuse me, posting up and encouraging people that are registered to vote to vote. Don't throw that ballot in the trash. They need to complete the ballot. They need to mail it in or put it in one of the drop box locations. One is at 209 South Broad Street in Trenton, and one is in front of the 640 building on Broad Street in Trenton. So if they don't want to stick it in the mailbox, they can go take it to the drop box and put it in there. But they need to fill out those ballots to have their voices heard, right? Now as we move closer to November, we gotta get Trump out of office. That's just my opinion. I can't speak for anybody else, right? But that's when we'll need the help of people really talking it up, chopping it up, telling people, listen, you gotta vote. Because, you know, sometimes people get so fed up with stuff that they're like, I ain't gonna vote. I don't want to be bothered. But then guess what? You not voting is a vote. It's a vote. Because when you don't vote against it, you're pushing it more closer to win. And we don't want that. And so then when COVID-19 lifts and it gets to the point that we can come out and start doing stuff, then I'll let you guys know, and you just come on out and get with us and help make it happen. If you see pop-up voter registration drives, pop into that. Help. Get familiar with the forms. Get familiar with what it's all about. Take some talk to people. Listen, are you registered to vote? Register your friends. Register some young folks that are eligible. That's how you could get involved. Start the process.
Like I said, I'm glad you presenting these points to us. I know like you said, with everything going on with COVID, but like I said, we all want to see like this. I get that, like that's the general consensus. We all want to see this city uplift. You know what I mean? And you're right. We really do got to get involved and start looking into these things. And speaking for myself too, especially. Because I'm one of those too. It's just like, I want to see the city progress. It's just like we just don't necessarily know how to go about it. And like again, seeing you have like your hands in so many different pots, it's admirable.
I'm in it.
Like
yeah, I'm in it. I love it though. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I got something else that's gonna drop. That's gonna be real high. It's coming. It's coming.
Like I said, I'll be watching you. I'll be watching.
If I'm not mistaken, July 18th is when it's gonna drop. But I'm excited about it. But again, just meeting the right people, good people, looking to do great things, looking to build and uplift the city. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, when it's time, let me finish locking down what we gotta lock down. Then you know what? May have y'all come out.
Hey, okay, yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely for that movement.
Yeah, it's gonna be real dope.
So,
I'm excited for it.
Hey, so Crystal, I appreciate your time so much in explaining like everything that you've been doing like around the city, and I'm so happy that we got you here on the first Yatta Debate Zoom session. So
no, thank you for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. And again, I hope that we're not done.
Yeah.
Right. I hope that we're not done. I'm hopeful that I've said something that would excite and ignite something in the both of you to want to do more. And if that's the case, I would love to help carry that forward. Because again, you guys are the leaders of tomorrow. I'm 50 this year. I mean, I ain't old, but
you don't look it.
Reality of the situation is I have arthritis in both my knees. I can't walk and run like I used to, right? I can do a lot of things. I do it a little bit slower now, but I'm still doing what I have to do. But that's where y'all come in. Like we build you up. So y'all carry the baton and you take it and you go. Our ancestors fought too hard. The people died for us. Look at what's happening. Let me go there for 1 minute. George Floyd, we watched a Black man get killed on national television by this man that thought that it was okay. We can no longer sit back and be quiet as a people. It just cannot happen. And guess what? The current president of the United States of America is a racist bigot. Hell yeah, your voice matters. Yes, you do need to be out there on the front lines. You do need to be registering the people. You do need to be telling us it's time for us to speak up and be heard, because guess what? We are no longer, 3/5 of a person. We're a whole person. We always were a whole person. We always were somebody. Now we just need to walk in that, and you will help make that happen. You will be across the change that is needed to carry the mission and the message forward. You. Amen, everybody.
That was powerful.
Yep.
That was powerful.
Yes, it was. Now they need to apply the constitutional rights to us. We are the citizens. We are the future.
And like you said, especially now with everything going on, it's just like you can see like how much influence that we have, not just even in this nation, but just around the globe.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And so again, when you have your shows and stuff, I'm not sure if you do, like when you do your closeouts or whatever you have going on, encourage people to register to vote. Like it could even be something like that, like y'all do a lead-in or whatever's going on when you're going out and everything. You know what I'm saying? We're closing out. Have a great night. Listen, we just want to remind everybody that what? If you haven't registered to vote yet, you need to register to vote, right? And you come up with your little slogan, your voice, your vote matters. Like we need to hear you. The time is now. However you want to call it. That's all a part of doing the work. That's all a part of pushing the mission. And again, when you're talking to different people, You're just always reminding them
Yeah.
that their voice is valid.
Because
Counts.
I'll tell you something. I want to see Heritage Day to come back to the city. I want to see that.
Yes.
So vote, Yatta. We're all. Did you register to vote?
Don't put that on my plate. But you know what? That's valid. And so why can't we form a committee or a team? See, the only thing with that is now, because of what happened at Art All Night, the fees for security and all that other kind of stuff have just gone sky high through the roof. And so not to say that it can't be done, it can, but you'd have to look into pulling in, like it would be a big process and commitment to pulling in different people from different places to help make that happen. Anything is possible, right? Anything is possible, but there's different things that are gonna go into that affect what happened. And now, you know, we had the recent looting and the mini riot that took place. Not that should hold us back, but that kind of set things back a little bit. We're trying to get back on the map and get some things together. I think Heritage Days would be really great. It was wonderful when it was happening. I experienced it for many years when I was young coming up. So I agree with you 100%. I don't think there's nothing wrong with getting a group of people together to talk about it and look to strategize to move that forward.
What about that?
Right? You ain't got to wait on it. You just put it together, start doing the research, find out what needs to be done, and then move to make it happen.
That's powerful, Crystal. That is powerful.
Yeah.
So on our Yatta Debate Zoom session, we had our first guest here, Crystal Feliciano. I appreciate you so much. And like she said, go out, especially for the Trentonians in this area. Go out and vote. Register to vote. You know, like if you want to see change in the city, you have to be a part of it.
That's it. That's it. Each and every time.
All right.
Yep.
So until next time on Yatta Debates, we will